Hi everybody and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. Tonight at the Hovo Hydro Arena up in Glasgow in Scotland, we saw the return of the Tartan Tornado. Josh Taylor of Scotland, former undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, was making his long-awaited ring return. He'd been out of the ring for about a year now, and he was stepping up to fight at welterweight for the very first time, and he was taking on Nottingham's Echo Essuman for the WBO European welterweight title. And as well as the title, there were other questions or, things on the line here. I mean, how would Josh Taylor look at the new weight? Does he still have it anymore? I mean, he was coming off the back of two pretty convincing losses. So the jury was out. People were saying that Josh Taylor, once, one of the best fighters we produced in recent years, did he still have it at the top level anymore? Whilst Echo Essuman, very good fighter, call him the engine, coming into this fight, 22 fights, only one loss on some recent good form himself, sounded very confident before the fight, said that he was going to pursue a world title if he won this fight. So there was a lot on the line for him also, as well as a title. So to the fight then, got to say as well, the crowd really turned out for Josh Taylor. The arena looked packed, they made a lot of noise. And yeah, it was a really good atmosphere by the time the two fighters got into the ring. So to the fight then, got to say in the first round, Josh Taylor looked really sharp, looked explosive, had the better hand speed, thought he made a really good start, looked purposeful, threw a couple of body shots that were really good. Looked like he was, he wanted to try and get Echo out of there as soon as he possibly could. Looked to make a statement, and I thought in the first round, he did that. I gave him the first round. In the second round, I thought he also had a very good round. But I thought that Echo Essuman, towards the end of the second round, landed a couple of decent right hands, also making a statement that he was going to be there for the long haul. And although I gave Taylor the second round as well, I thought Essuman did a lot better in the second round than he did in the first round. In the third round, I gave that one to Essuman. It was a close competitive round, but I thought Essuman found a home for the right hand, started to land it, and I thought he was coming forward by this stage as well, and I thought he did enough to win the third round. I thought Taylor won the fourth round, so as you can see already, there's a bit of ebb and flow in this fight. Both of the fighters going back and forth. It's a good fight. Both of them were having success, and both of them were landing clean. So yeah, I gave Josh Taylor the fourth round. So at that stage, I had it 3-1. And for the next 2 or 3 rounds, I think it's fair to say that both fighters had success. There were some swing rounds in there in the middle rounds, very competitive fight. But you could see that Essuman was starting to grow into the fight. He looked the stronger person in there physically. And by the middle rounds, he was starting to come forward and really show his strength, whereas Josh Taylor was more picking his shots, still had the better hand speed, but I thought that Essuman was starting to grow into the fight, starting to look a little bit more confident. His body language seemed to be the superior of the two fighters, and certainly physically, I wouldn't say he was manhandling Taylor, but every time they came together in the clinch, it did appear that it was Echo Essuman who seemed to be physically the stronger. And so that pattern sort of maintained for the next 2 or 3 rounds. Ebb and flow, as I said, back and forth. But as I said, I had Essuman growing into the fight. And by about round 8, I thought Essuman started to take over the fight. He was landing right hands on a regular basis, going to the body, looking physically stronger. I mean, he's quite a relentless fighter. I mean, that nickname they got for him, the Engine, is a very apt and appropriate nickname because he certainly does fight with that kind of intensity. He's not the quickest. Josh Taylor is by far the quicker in terms of hand speed and foot speed. But what Essuman does bring to the table is his stamina, relentlessness, and he's there for the long haul. I had Echo Essuman sweeping the last 4 rounds. I thought he won the last 4 rounds clearly. And by the end of the fight, I thought he was a clear winner. I think I had him something like 8-4 in rounds, maybe even more than that. But, I'd say 8-4. But I was very interested to see what the judges would decide, because obviously Josh Taylor was a home fighter. He's from Edinburgh. The fight was in Glasgow, Scotland. We've seen in a previous Josh Taylor fight that was in Scotland with Jack Catterall a few years back that he got a decision that can only be described as a robbery. So I was worried that the judges, might, come up with a hometown decision. But fair play to the judges. They had Echo Essuman a unanimous winner. All three judges went for Essuman. I think it was 116, 113, 116, 112, and another one of 115, 113. That's a bit close, to be honest. But anyway, they got it right in terms of who won the fight. The right man won. I thought Essuman won. Got to shout out both guys, though. It was an excellent fight because even though I thought Josh Taylor lost the last 4 or 5 rounds, he was always in there pitching, always in there trying to fight back. The corner, they were giving him some good advice. They were telling him that, he need to let his hands go a bit more, try and stay off the ropes. So, yeah, it was very, very compelling, competitive fight. But the right man won, Echo Essuman. It was another excellent fight, like I said, another great night for British boxing. After the fight, Echo Essuman said in his post-fight interview in the ring that he'd like to go on now and fight for world titles, which I think is fair enough. I think, he's been around a long time. He's 36 years old now. He's paid his dues. It'd be great to see him get a world title shot. Whether he can win it, that's another story for another day. But yeah, he certainly deserves his day in the sun. He's been a really good fighter, and I wish him all the best going forward. As for Josh Taylor, he never gave an interview in the ring. It was noticeable that when the decision was announced, he somewhat recoiled. He thought he'd done enough to win. But no, I don't think so. When he watches the fight back, I'm pretty sure, even that would be painful for him to admit, that he did lose the fight. I mean, he was expected to win. Although I must say, I did a preview on this fight, and I did say in that preview that I'm surprised that Josh Taylor and his team selected Echo Essuman for his first fight at welterweight, especially the fact that he was coming off 2 losses, because I always knew that this was going to be a hard, grueling fight. I'm not sure if Echo Essuman is the right type of fighter you want in your first fight back. I know, he's been at the top level for a long time now, and there was a suggestion that he doesn't want to dip too far down the rankings because he probably wouldn't get motivated for a fight like that. And this fight was for a title. However, I always thought that Echo Essuman, the style might have been a bit wrong for him. And, these two go back a long way. They were on the GB squad together as amateurs, and apparently they'd sparred a lot of rounds. And I've heard Echo Essuman say that he took some confidence from that, having shared a ring with Josh Taylor many years before. But anyway, Josh Taylor declined to give an interview after the fight. So, I've not, point of filming this, I've not heard what he's had to say after the fight, but he did think he'd won it. Well, I hope somebody, disabuses him of that notion, because he definitely didn't win the fight. I thought Echo Essuman was a clear winner. As for what Josh Taylor will do next, I don't know, man. It might be time for one of those difficult conversations with him and his team. This is his 3rd consecutive defeat now, and for me, there were 3 consecutive clear defeats as well. None of those losses were close, in my opinion. And when you've been at the top level like Josh Taylor has been, undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, sort of on that pound for pound list, it's quite a fall from grace. He's not getting any younger. He's been in a lot of hard fights. I would imagine he's made a lot of money out of boxing. I would imagine his financial future is secure. He's been a legend of British boxing, in particular Scottish boxing. Does he really want to go on and keep holding L's? He might be seen now in many quarters as a come up for, up and coming fighters. So, and I'm pretty sure, given Josh Taylor, the way he is as a person, he's quite a prideful person. I'm not sure if he'll want to be seen as that. But then again, his pride might say to him that he felt hard done by and that he's going to carry on and he doesn't want to go out of the game on 3 straight losses. So I would imagine it's not the last we've seen of him, but I do think he's sort of in that twilight zone now where he's got to be thinking seriously about his future and what he wants to do. Welterweight is a very tough division, man. If you look at the champions, you've got Mario Barrios. He's the I think he's the WBA champion. He's about to fight Manny Pacquiao. How Manny Pacquiao coming out of the ring for so many years and fighting straight for a world title is kind of weird. But yeah, so Barrios is the WBA champion, soon to be taking on Manny Pacquiao. Then you've got the WBA, WBC, is it? An IBF champion. That's Jerome Ennis, seen by many as the best in the division. Looks like a real superstar. Obviously, Josh Taylor wouldn't want to go anywhere near him right now. And then you've got the WBO champion, who's quite an underrated champion, actually, Brian Norman of Atlanta, America, big puncher, confident guy. He's seeking a unification fight with Ennis. So, yeah, I mean, I can't see Josh Taylor on this type of form anyway, beating any of those guys. Maybe he might want to target the winner of the Mario Barrios Manny Pacquiao fight. But then again, that will probably be what Essuman is targeting, because he is the WBO European champion, so it would make sense for him to want to go for the WBO belt. So you'll probably be targeting the winner of those two. So I guess what I'm saying, it's a long, difficult, hard road back for Josh Taylor. Does he really need to be still doing it at 36 years old, having been to the mountaintop already? So yeah, difficult decision for Josh Taylor, but only he will tell us what he wants to do in that regard. I don't want to say too much. I mean, it's in the immediate aftermath of the fight. See how things play out. But all I would say is that, you know, there is that conversation to be had, surely. Right. Okay, that's all for me. Thanks so much for watching this video. Really do appreciate it. You know what I'm going to say next. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend, and catch you on the next one. I'm out.